Hey guys, welcome back to another episode. I don't really know how to intro this podcast anymore. But that's kind of the point of this whole episode. Sorry, I just glitched, I guess. I'm trying to find the episode on my phone because if you know, the Notes app is my favorite thing in the world. Of course, I have to use my phone and it's at 17%. So hopefully just leaving it open isn't going to kill it too much. But anyways, welcome back to another episode. Before we talk about obviously all our stuff, I'm still going to start with intentions of the week. So as you can tell, probably by the title, I don't exactly know what I'm going to title this. I think I have an idea in my head. So if I remember it and it gets titled what I'm thinking it's going to be titled, you're going to see that we have to rebrand this podcast. We have to rename, rebrand, redo this whole podcast. I'm low-key so excited. I can't wait to just get everything on a basis. Okay, we'll get into that in the episode. So my intentions though are rebranding, planning, all that stuff. I'm going to be very vague with my intentions because as we go through the episode, I'm going to be talking more about all of that stuff. So we'll just talk about it in a minute. So streaming platforms are still the same: Spotify, Apple Podcast, Amazon Music, Google Podcast, anywhere you stream your podcast, or I am on YouTube. I almost said we're on YouTube. This is going to be so weird to get into. If you're watching this, I'm just going to point this out now. I have a new burn on my arm from where I work. I work in a kitchen type setting. So I just burned myself on everything. But I do have a new burn on my arm. It kind of looks like a scratch on camera from what I'm looking at right now. So if you see that, yeah, that's what that is. I kind of just saw a glimpse of it and was like, oh, yeah, I have a new burn. So if you're watching, that's what that is. If you're listening, I'm sorry, I had to explain that. So we're just going to get right into this topic. Julian has left the building. Sorry, I wanted to be dramatic. So Julian is leaving the podcast. If you missed our stream, we came back after a 3-week break from YouTube. We streamed the other day on our Alyssa and Julian channel. This sounds so depressing without any context if you don't know. Oh my God. So we streamed the other day on our Alyssa and Julian channel, actually on Thursday, which is when we normally would stream. So it was kind of cool to come back on a day that kind of would have been a regular for us. So on our break, Julian and I had we talked almost the whole time about when we were coming back, what we were going to do, what's happening, blah, blah, blah. So if you missed the stream, Julian is leaving the podcast. I am leaving the reaction channel. That sounds really sad and weird, like I said, if you don't have any context. So let's talk about it. We're splitting up the work. We're kind of splitting up the Alyssa and Julian work. So we're kind of still giving out Alyssa and Julian. No, we're not. It's not really Alyssa and Julian content. It's Alyssa and Julian content without it being Alyssa and Julian content. Does that even make sense? Probably not. So basically we're splitting up the work because of time management almost. Our schedules do not coincide with each other at all almost, because mostly that's 99.99% me and my work schedule. My work schedule is not a set work schedule. From day to day, I could probably maybe guess what my schedule is going to be but it's not the same every day, week to week, if that makes sense. So I don't have a set schedule. It's not okay, when I work this day and this day is this time, and this day and this day is this time. It changes by week. So 1 week I could have one schedule, the next week could be complete opposite, can be okay, these couple days are the same, but this day's different. It changes weekly. So it's really hard to plan a lot of what we can do in the time that we have when my schedule is always fluctuating, because then it messes up routines and systems and all that stuff. So to put out content that you guys are looking for from us, we decided that we have to split up the work, split up the jobs, split up the duties, and provide you guys still with content, just a little different. We're really hoping that you guys are going to support us all the same. We're going to hope that you still like everything that we're putting out. With that being said, Julian has more time during the day while I'm at work. So he is going to do reactions when he has his own time. And then when I come home from work, it's more so sometime during the night. So that's when Julian will go out to work. It also works better with what he does if he's out later sometimes, especially on the weekends. It's really busy nights. It's a really busy time where I'm usually home, and then I can set up the podcast, make a podcast for you guys. And you're still getting reactions. You're still getting a podcast episode. But it's kind of better in this situation because, like, when I'm at work and I'm trying to come home, I feel like it's a rushed couple of hours because I'm coming home. Mind you, it's a 40-minute drive from my job to where we live. So it's a 40-minute drive depending on traffic, depending on what time I get out, depends on obviously what time I get home. Then I feel like I come through the door and I'm like trying to say hi to everyone, say hi to JJ, say hi to Julian, try to hang out, have dinner, that type of situation. But then we have to record, like we have to get reactions. It could be 1, it could be 2, we could be doing 3. So depending on also how many reactions we will be doing, obviously needed more time for us to record. So getting home, trying to record, trying to have dinner, trying to just say hi to everyone for like at least a minute, being like, hey, like, how was your day? How are you? Type of situation turned into a really stressful time. Half the time I didn't even change out of my work clothes. I either changed my shirt, so like for obvious like privacy reasons, or I had a hoodie on and I'm just like, okay, let's sit down. Okay, let's go. Set JJ up with like some Mickey, so he's entertained for however long it needs to take us to record that night. And we kind of just got it going. Then either dinner we had to like prep dinner, put it in the oven while we were recording. During this record, go switch it, go take it out of the oven, it was just trying to do too many things at once, and it turned into a very stressful time at times. So I'll be doing podcast by myself, which honestly too makes it easier because we never knew when Julian was going to have time to like sit and record with me. And at first we tried to make it like a plan, and like the one time you kind of get like off a routine type of situation, it just is kind of like a wrap. So we had it where we were recording every Thursday. We would take time. Normally it was in the morning when JJ was napping. That was kind of the best time for us because then we could sit. He napped for at least an hour. So we had to sit there, have that hour. Well, kind of set up. He kind of fights his naps sometimes. So as he's kind of fighting it and making himself tired, we would set up. And then by the time we were normally done setting up, he would be putting himself to sleep because he realized he was tired and needed a nap. So set up, did the podcast, and then kind of took the day from there. But knowing that from when we recorded the podcast, which was normally 11, maybe noon on a Thursday, and then we had all day free until we streamed that night, which also ranged from, it could either be as early as 5 p.m. or as late as 8 p.m. Normally our streams, if we did 5, it was kind of on the earlier side to give us a little bit of space for some more work, but also early enough to where after we got off stream, Julian had time to still work at night. Like I said, some of the nights get busy for him, so it's better job-wise for him. So it all kind of ranged, or we would do podcast recording and then have hours and stream 8 o'clock, and then we normally streamed for about an hour, so getting off at 9 was kind of like, that was the night type of situation. We're getting JJ ready for bed, we're getting ourselves situated, but also kind of prepping for the next day. What do we need? What do we have to do? All that stuff. So not knowing when he can sit with me was kind of, I don't want to say it was stressful, but a lot went into it because I didn't know how to plan episodes, and having episodes planned, like pre-planned, like knowing when I set up and sit down to go to record, I know what I'm going to be talking about. I know what topic we're doing, kind of makes it easier. But it was like should I plan this a solo episode? Am I planning it with you? Because I feel like the topic kind of fluctuates, because I don't know, like sometimes I like to have a topic where we could have a conversation. We're going back and forth. He has a point, I have a point, I have an opinion, he has an opinion. Like, it makes the episode a little more interesting. If it's something where I want to be having a conversation, but I don't have like a partner in the episode, it kind of turns into more of an issue, because then I'm like sitting here having a conversation with myself, which just makes me sound kind of crazy, honestly. So I don't know. So planning will kind of be easier now, because I know it's me. I know it's just me. If Julian's in an episode, it's kind of me planning, hey, sit in this episode with me, or hey, when could we make time? He's basically just almost like a guest at that point. So we could plan that a lot better, rather than, hey, I need you at this time, this day, every week for about an hour to record this episode. I don't like not having like the structure like that. So it was kind of getting difficult. I didn't want to force him, obviously, to like be like, hey, free up your time right here. Like, if he needs to go work, or if it's going to be busy, or if he has things to do, go do what you got to do. Like, it's work. You can't just be like, okay, yeah, no, I won't do that. No, like, if we have to go work, like, work is work. If you need to go do it, go do it. So for me, I know, like, obviously I know my own schedule. I can sit here and look at my work schedule and be like, okay, if I come home at this time, I can set up and do the podcast this day. I can do it that day. I can do it this time. Or if I want to wait, I can do it this time. And it's honestly, it's only been like a few days. Like, we literally streamed today. I'm still on it. I'm going to get better, I hope. But today's Sunday when I'm recording this. So we literally streamed like this past Thursday. So yeah, we haven't even been in this routine for like a week yet. So we're still kind of adapting, still kind of adjusting. Reactions from what I've seen have been going really well for Julian. He's kind of been kicking it off really well. I know he's super excited. I'm super excited. Like, this whole situation is not a bad situation at all. I know, like I said, without context, it sounded really depressing and sad and like kind of crazy, but we're both really excited with the way, like with the direction of how this stuff is going. So you're still going to be getting reactions, but it's just going to be Julian, unless like maybe he does it on my day off and I can like sit and pop in with him. There might be like a couple of those, but like I don't want to get into habit of just being in a lot, because like I said, I don't know, I don't want it to be weird for you guys, like our audience, being like, okay, well, is she there? Is she not? You guys said she's not, but now she's in a lot more, blah, blah, blah. So I don't want to make it like a complicated thing. If I can sit in one here and there, I probably will. Because I do miss it. Like, I'm not going to say I don't miss it. But yeah, and then like I said, if Julian wants to come in an episode here and there with me, he's basically just like a guest. It's not really our podcast anymore. So I don't know, just all around it makes it kind of easier for both of us, which is really nice. So I don't know. So now we have to talk about the rebrand. Oh. As soon as I said that, someone's like beeping their horns outside. I don't know if they're angry or excited, but we're all going to get excited here. So we're going to think those were excited beeps. Thank you guys. Thank you outside for being as happy as I am about this. So we have to rename this podcast. That was actually the most awkward intro for this podcast I think we've ever had. I didn't know what to say. I don't want to say I'm Alyssa and this is the Alyssa and Julian podcast because we're changing it. But I didn't want to just sit here and be like, hey, hi, awkward. No, I tried to start it. I don't know. So I need your guys' help. I posted on the Alyssa and Julian Instagram for now, like name ideas. I posted on the Alyssa and Julian podcast for name ideas. I don't know what to name this podcast, but basically we have to change the name of the podcast because it's not the Alyssa and Julian podcast anymore. It's only going to be me. But like, I don't really want to name it the Alyssa podcast. I don't know. That just doesn't sound it for me. I'm not in love with that. So I've literally been sitting here, honestly, since Thursday. Like I said, we streamed. I've been sitting here since then trying to come up with a name. And I don't know. I don't know what to name this podcast. And it's honestly kind of bugging me because like I want that one name to just, like I want to see it. I want it to come to me. I want to just figure it out some way and be like, yes, like that's it. I love that. Unfortunately, I haven't gotten to that point yet, but I know it's going to come. I know it's going to come very soon. So until then, wherever you are streaming this podcast, whether it's like Spotify or anything, like streaming platform, or if you're watching on YouTube, everything right now is still called Alyssa and Julian Podcast. It will be changed. So if you see a sudden change, don't be alarmed. It's me, like rebranding type of situation. If you do still follow what was the Alyssa and Julian channel on YouTube for the reactions, it's now called Julian Reacts. I will put a little disclaimer out there that he said it might not be like the official name of it. He just kind of renamed it for the purpose of his rebrand on the reaction channel. So right now, if you don't see Alyssa and Julian pop up, that is because we are no longer Alyssa and Julian for the reaction channel. It is now Julian's reaction channel. So make sure you're still subscribed. Don't unsubscribe from us. Please, 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 please still support him with his reactions. Like I said, he's doing a great job so far. I have been watching. It's so weird because like it's not, like I said, called Alyssa and Julian, so I'm not like watching my own videos. It's his videos. And I love watching them because watching him do it himself, like I wish I had the courage to like, I don't know. It took me long enough to sit here and do this podcast by myself. That first episode I had to do by myself. I'm going to tell you beforehand, I was freaking out. I was so nervous to sit here and record an episode by myself. Now I freaking love it. I might get that way with reactions if I ever did it, but for now, no. That's all Julian. I don't know. I feel like I would just be awkward. I don't know. I know. Yeah, he has it all. He does that. He streams. He does all that stuff. Sitting there like that is like that's his thing. So, if you go on YouTube and you see this podcast ends up changing titles too, don't be alarmed. I don't know what it's going to change to. You guys have to help me. Leave comments if you're watching on YouTube. Leave a comment about potential title names for this new podcast. I'm telling you, I've been trying to think and it's pretty hard for me. So with that being said, now we kind of have to talk about, I have to rebrand almost everything. Like, I don't know. I need titles. I need ideas. I need opinions. And this is where y'all jump in. If you're watching on YouTube, please, 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 please comment. Have a conversation. Help your girl out. I need help. So basically, whatever we rename this podcast, I'm probably going to change like the Instagram name to obviously the same podcast name. So that way, like, this YouTube channel and the Instagram match right now with Alyssa Julian Podcast. It's all going to be renamed. You're still going to see the videos I've been posting on there, little shorts from these episodes. I try to post on Instagram to try to get, I don't know, you guys to see it and maybe like direct yourself to this podcast. If that's how you came here, I appreciate it. I appreciate the support. I love that you guys are watching. I hope you guys are liking, but that is eventually going to be renamed. We do have an Alyssa and Julian Instagram. I'm not going to lie. We haven't posted a lot on that Instagram. That one was kind of hard to keep up with because I never knew what to post. But with that being said, with us not being like the Alyssa and Julian like tag team duo, do I keep the Instagram? Do I delete the Instagram? What do I post on the Instagram? Is it going to be like, I don't know, like a Julian reaction Instagram? I don't want another podcast Instagram. Like, that wouldn't make sense. So I don't know if I would make it like the reaction one. I don't know. Is that weird? Like, to have a reaction Instagram? I don't know. I don't know what to do with it. I don't know if I should keep it in Alyssa and Julian and kind of post like updates on us if y'all are interested. I don't know what to do with that Instagram. That Instagram is kind of like in an awkward spot now. So I don't know. And same with, my phone will unlock for me to look at my bullet points. And same with the Twitter. Do I rename the Alyssa and Julian Twitter? Do I make, see, that's not as weird as having it like the reaction one, because like we can kind of post like links to the videos on Twitter to make sure you guys know that it's up, it's live, he has a new reaction out. That one might be still kind of something to keep up with. If you guys are interested, would you guys want that to be like a reaction, like the Julian Reacts Twitter, if that makes sense? There's like all these things that have like the Alyssa and Julian name on it that now we have to change. So now like the reaction channel, like I said, is renamed, rebranded. The podcast is eventually going to be renamed when I can think of one, and rebranded. So, like I still have my channel. Julian still has his channel. We don't have a combined channel. We both basically just have two separate accounts of our own. So I have mine, just my name, Alyssa Fulton, YouTube channel, and now I'll have the podcast channel. Julian has his regular YouTube channel, Julian Fountain, on top of the reaction channel. So I have those two channels, my personal Instagram. Julian has those two channels, his personal Instagram. I'm going to keep, obviously, the podcast Instagram. It's going to be whatever name I change the podcast to. But it's just the Alyssa and Julian Instagram. That's like, how is this going to work? Like, what do I do with that one? I don't know. I'm kind of on the road of it might just get deleted because I don't know what'll get posted on that one. Oh, I don't know. I don't know. This is so hard. And now I'm sitting here like recording this episode, kind of talking to you, but like you can't respond to me as I'm talking right now. You'll have to like listen and respond. And like, I'm just too impatient right now to like wait for that response. And even after I like record this and edit it and all this stuff, it doesn't go up until tomorrow. So like I have to wait a whole nother day, almost like a whole 12 plus hours right now to get some type of response from you guys. So like in my mind, it's just like running circles and I'm going kind of crazy, but there's just a lot going on, a lot happening. I don't know what to do. Ooh, but yeah, I think that's kind of everything. This is definitely a very short episode. But we just wanted to, like I said, we did stream, but in case you missed the stream, I wanted to put this podcast episode out to explain to people in case they kind of weren't really watching the videos as much, but like if you're listening to the podcast, either way, I appreciate the support. We love you guys so much, but we do have to explain this little I don't know, like what we're doing right now, because a lot of people are going to see it and be like, what the heck happened? What is going on? What did I miss? Because if you missed the Thursday stream, but then all of a sudden you went on YouTube to go and find a video, you're seeing a whole new channel. And I know a couple people have commented being really confused, like, where did Alyssa go? Like, what happened? Like, why is this a new name? I didn't even, like, I saw this channel and I was really confused. I didn't know what it was. Yeah. It's a whole rebrand over here. Like, it's a whole little, like, life remodel, you know, when like a store goes through a remodel. That's kind of what we're going through with our channels. But to wrap this episode up, as sad as it sounds, there is no more. That sounds so weird. Like, I don't like saying it like that. There's no more Alyssa and Julian. There's Alyssa and there's Julian, but we aren't making content anymore for the purpose of right now. It's just not working with our schedules. We didn't want to be very like, here we are. Okay, we got to go. Okay, we're back. Here's a video. Okay, a couple days off. Okay, sorry, we took a week off, but we're going to come back. But in a few days, we have to take more breaks. Like, it feels very like all over the place. And personally, I don't kind of like how it was going. It's just like, I don't know, it's very time consuming. Not that it was ever a bad thing. Like, we would love to sit down for the hour for you guys to put out the content, whether it was early and we can get it done, or I came home at 8 o'clock, 9 o'clock, and we had to sit and record a video. That's why also videos were out pretty late for us. We also uploaded as early as 5, 6 o'clock, but as late as 11:30 p.m. And especially the later we record and I'm trying to like schedule it, I kind of tried to schedule the reactions like kind of with some time in between, so that way all videos weren't coming out and hitting you guys at once, but like also trying to get them up kind of in a timely manner. So some were like an hour apart, some were a half hour apart, and like scheduling them and putting them up was just also like really weird, because I was like, dang, it's already 9 o'clock. We have these 3 videos to get out. Like, one has to be up now, one has to be up in a half hour, and one half hour after that. Like, it was kind of weird, kind of, I don't know. But like I said, Julian Reacts is the previous Alyssa and Julian channel. So hopefully subscribe, stay subscribed. Hopefully you guys enjoy Julian's reactions. It's kind of the same people, I think. He might change it up. I can't talk for him and that new channel now. But the ones he's done recently have been the same people we reacted to together. So it's the same people, just a whole new face behind the camera. Like, it's just one instead of 2. And make sure you subscribe to Julian's channel. Please subscribe to my channel. Stay subscribed to this podcast channel. Hopefully we think of a name very soon. I'm so excited. I can't wait for the name to like hit me. It just unfortunately hasn't yet. Follow all of our Instagrams and Twitters down below. Everything is in the description. And yeah, I love you. Thank you guys so much for listening. Thank you guys so much for watching on whatever you're listening or watching this on. Hopefully you guys are okay with keeping just me forever. I know in a lot of the other solo episodes, I was like, hopefully you guys are okay with just me, but hopefully it'll be me and Julian soon, blah, blah, blah. Now you're stuck with just me. I hope you guys enjoy it. I'm definitely going to be asking for a lot more episode ideas coming soon, because of the fact that I know it's going to be a solo episode. So I do need a lot to talk about. So hopefully you guys help me out. Hopefully you guys support us, each and every channel that we have. Yeah, like I said, I love you guys, and I'll be back next week with a brand new episode. Bye.